Hey man, I know you guys can't hear, but I can. Welcome back to the Dutch River podcast. I know I missed last week, and I promised a big show with Higgins and all that. But we just didn't do it. Honestly, we had other things to do, like drink and watch football. We didn't make it. It just didn't happen. I had a blast with Higgins, and I think he had fun. Or he was just lying to me. But yeah, he had fun. I had fun. Um, we didn't get anything done. We drank a lot of beers, drank a lot of booze, watched a lot of football. I think Higgins was a little disappointed on how much football we watched. But he's like, "Oh, let's go do stuff." It's like, let's just watch football. Um, we had a couple experiences. We're not going to share things like that, but yeah, man, like, nice. It was fun. What a good time. Or I did. I hope he did too. And I told him I'd head out to LA soon for him or bring him back with snow. Because Mandy missed the trip too, which was kind of a bummer. She might have yelled at us a little bit because sometimes she yells at us. That's not the point. The point is we didn't get around to it. I'm sorry for hyping it up and not doing it, but you know what? If 10,000 of you listened to this shit, maybe I would have put forth a little more effort. But I did not. Because it was more like, let's go drink with Higgins instead of fuck around with you nerds. So, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. As such, viewers may experience buffing. All right, man, like, I don't know what the problem is, YouTube. I mean, it says connection excellent. Um, got 8,000 or 18,000 kbps, whatever. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. Um, ooh, this might affect the recording now because I didn't start recording. Bummer. Okay, whatever, man. Let's dive in to or actually we could just start again because no one's watching. Right? Where are we at? 4 minutes. Welcome back to the Dutch and Denver podcast. I am Dutch. I am in and around Denver. And sorry I missed last week, man. We just we were doing, I know I promised Higgins, but we just didn't get around to it. Drank too much, watched too much. I don't know. We just didn't feel like doing it on Thursday night. I can't remember exactly what we did Thursday night, but it didn't happen. And it didn't happen throughout the week because we were busy. I had a great time. I hope Higgins did. I think it's his first time to Colorado. I think he was a little surprised about how much football was watched and stuff like that, but I mean, I don't know. That's what we do: watch football, drink, and hang out. So I think he had a good time. I hope he had a good time, and I think he'll be back. I hope he'll be back. I'll be in LA shortly with him. I don't know when, but we'll figure that part out. Let's see what to do or what to go. Yeah, pretty uneventful to be shared here. I mean, he and I experienced some things that are going to stay with us until we write a memoir. Um, not nothing gay, nothing too gay, but yeah, just all right. Maybe we'll talk about that because sometimes I talk about personal shit, but I also want to bitch about people talking about personal shit on Twitter. So I don't know if I should talk about personal shit on the podcast. It's kind of like a catch 22 or almost I'm being hypocritical. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks. Let's talk sports, man. Pete Rose died. Bummer. Probably greatest hitter of all time. Yeah. Now what about Pete Rose? Okay, we've all agreed. And what's funny though is like MLB's social was like giving out a whole bunch of stuff that was like, you know, we love Pete Rose and all that and blah blah blah. Hold on one second. All right. So yeah, MLB was like, hey man, we love Pete Rose. He's such a contributor to the game, all that stuff. And it's like, fuck you, MLB. You guys blacklisted him forever. I mean, you permanently banned him from baseball. Stick to your guns. Put out a tweet that says, fuck that guy. He's banned. We don't care. But to say shit like, he was so great and all that and stuff and still keep him banned is just scummy. Yeah, he did bet on baseball and all that. And I mean, stick to your guns, dude. Either ban him and don't ever talk about him again. But don't give us this half-ass like, oh, we're so sorry, blah, blah. No, you're not. You fucking hated the guy. He's a piece of shit. And I know the people running MLB are not the people that ran it back then. But still, kind of stupid, right? Broncos. I love Pete Rose, by the way. I think he should have been there. I think gambling on sports is awesome. Okay. Broncos. They won 2 in a row. They beat the Jets, which was just, I mean, that was like 2 retards trying to figure it out. And one of them managed to crack the peanut for the other one. Not a good looking game. I understand, real rainy, real fucked up. Aaron Rodgers does not have an offensive line. Fucking Bo Nix cannot throw in the rain. And you would think he could playing in Eugene. But he's got small little hands, like little baby hands, not big old sausages. And college footballs are smaller than NFL. So the Jets win, while it's a win, and I love it. Not impressed. Love it, but not impressed. I can still be critical because that's my job here on the old podcast. And then since we've missed a week, we can now talk about the Raider game. Man. The defense showed up. I will give them that to an extent because the Raiders do fucking suck, okay? Like, they're not a good football team. But Pat Surtain's 100-yard, good job, buddy. I love you for that. Are you the best corner or defensive back in the NFL? Not even fucking close. Okay? You're average at best. And I know all the Broncos fans are like, oh, blah, 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 blah. No. Great interception, great return. Awesome. We'll leave it there. Defense played all right. Admittedly, I did not watch the entirety of the game because I was playing taxi driver. But I listened to it, and I know what's coming of it. Bo Nix is still not great. Okay, I mean, his average, like, in-air throws are like 3 yards. Okay? Not good, man. You need to be able to throw the ball in the air more than 3 yards. Okay? That's something that's got to happen. Okay? This is not. But yeah, good game against a broken Raiders team. I love it. I just like beating the Raiders. I don't care if they're good, bad, or indifferent. Fuck the Raiders. So yeah, great game. The Buffs game. Was that the UCF game that I missed? Because they had a bye this week. Was the UCF game? We can talk about that too. Hail Mary at the end. Buffs won. Love it. I mean, I'm on the fence about this, man. Like, is Dion a real coach or is he just here to make money? Either way, I don't have a problem with that. I like winning. I like you making money for the program. If you can do them both at the same time, I love that. So keep on going. This week's gonna be a tough one. I think we're playing Kansas, right? Let's see. Are we playing Kansas in Kansas? Yeah, Kansas State. Sorry, Kansas State. Number 18, Kansas State in Colorado, though. Kansas State is 4.5-point favorites. So they're 7.5-point favorites because, home field's 3. I think the Buffs can win this game. In fact, I'll put money on it. I'll bet that one. The Buffs pull this out of their ass somehow. And then we're rolling. Okay? Then we're rolling, man. This is a big test. Kind of like the TCU game last year, first game of the season. Big test. Let's roll. Great. Let's talk about the bane of my existence. SC. Lincoln Riley. I'm not sure he was the right choice for this program. I know Miller Moss wasn't. He is not a good quarterback for this program. Our receivers can't catch, and our defense sucks. So, I don't know. No, so I'm expecting this out of good teams. Okay, this is not rebuilding or anything like that. I think Lincoln Riley calls bad plays, and I don't know if he's trying to go like the Oklahoma style, like run him into the ground, then maybe throw over the top. But that's not SC, man. Or if you're trying to change it, good, fine. But right now that ain't it, because Miller Moss can't throw over the top. That he cannot throw downfield. And if he does, our receivers can't catch it. So, but they might be able to. It's very up in the air. It's a lot like the Buffs, dude. Horrible defense. That shows flashes of brilliance. Theoretically, great receivers that drop some easy balls. Coach is not necessarily on the right page, because I think Lincoln Riley calls SC's plays, and he's not good at that. But Miller Moss is not a good quarterback either, or they just haven't found what he's good at, because the combination of those two right now is not good. And then add in dropping receivers and questionable running and something's got to give there. And I don't know what it is. I was so pissed off that Minnesota lost. I still am, and I don't want to fucking talk about it. But yeah, it's not good. Things are not happy in sunny California. The message boards, man, some people are calling for Link's head. Other people are shitting on Miller. I'm doing both. Fuck both those guys. Just gross. All right. I want to keep going. Let's keep going with sports. Because also, this one might be kind of short just because hockey starts tonight. Well, my hockey starts tonight. I know it started yesterday or whatever, but I don't care about your teams. Your teams suck, and I hate them. So, moving on. I guess let's talk MLB playoffs for a little bit. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, so the wild card stuff happened, and I mean, part of me's like, duh. The other part of me's like, why bother? Which is a combination of the two. The Braves fucking failed. Obviously, they barely made it in by the skin of their teeth. The rest of the teams, blah, blah, blah. And now we're set with, divisional stuff. The Mets are on fucking fire. Okay? Let's not even debate that. The Mets are just world beaters right now. I don't know how long they're going to be world beaters for, but I mean, they dispatched the Phillies 3-1 easily. Okay. And they even came back tonight. Phillies were up like 1-0, and the Mets just came, they won like 4-1 or some shit. So the Mets are on fire. The Mets might suffer from sitting for a little bit like the Dodgers have, but that's what it is. Yankees, Royals, haven't paid attention at all, don't care. Dislike both those teams. If I had to pick one, I hope the Royals win. But they're currently tied at 1 game apiece, so that'll probably go 5 games. Guardians, Tigers. Man, Detroit, they're leading. Guardians don't really care about either, so blah blah blah, you know. And then Mets, Padres, or not Mets, sorry, Dodgers, Padres. That's an interesting series because I don't know, man. The Dodgers should win on paper, but they are not. I think is tonight an Elam game. Yeah, Dodgers got to win tonight. The Padres playing good baseball though, and a lot of people are shitting on them for their non-baseball stuff, like Tatis Jr., Machado. Fuck Machado. First of all, that guy is a scumbag. Okay, he's been on 25 different teams. He's a cancer and a piece of shit. Tatis depends on you talk to. Ken Rosenthal think he's a fucking hood rat. Not saying he's not. I'm just saying currently they're beating the Dodgers 2-1. Playing tonight, they might finish this series off. If that's the case, man, you gotta get rid of Dave Roberts. And the other thing that pisses me off, fucking Mike Shildt is running the Padres, who are steamrolling the Dodgers, who some people are saying might win it. And a couple years ago, he was managing the Cardinals, who are pathetic beyond belief. They got to get rid of that DEI hire, Ollie. Okay. I know Yachty spoke up, was like, I'd like to have a Puerto Rican, whatever. And the Cardinals were like, okay. Fucking terrible plan. He's a terrible manager. I don't know why he still has a job. I mean, I guess Cardinal Nation's pretty pissed off, but is anything gonna change? I don't know. Mozeliak's gonna get the last year's contract. I don't know, man. It's, you know, it's not good in my sports team kingdom. That's why I'm so excited for hockey. Avalanche. A run to the Stanley Cup starts tonight in like 15 to 45 minutes. We'll see. The Rockies lost 100 games for the second year in a row, and they've extended the manager Bud Black 1 year. You know, people are mad, happy, sad. I don't know, but again, it's 100% the fans' fault at this point. And you guys aren't even fans. You're just little socialites that like to go to an event, and the Rockies game is an event somewhere to be seen. If you lose 100 games in a row, back-to-back seasons, your ass should be fucking canned. No doubt about that. Get lost, loser, because you are a loser. Like 100-game lost season you're a loser. But it doesn't matter because people still show up to the games. I mean, they're still top third of attendance and all that. So once again, Rockies fans have proved they know nothing about baseball. They're the most uninformed, uncompetitive fans in all of sports. It's fucking pathetic. And, well, that's Denver. And that's kind of where the Broncos are going. You know? We're excited we beat the fucked up Raiders. Come on. We have a quarterback who can't throw more than 4 yards in the air. You know, we have a coach. They were fighting on the sidelines. Who knows about what, but we have a coach who was suspended for bounties. Yeah, you forget about that. Sean Payton was suspended for bounties and we bring him back. We're run by Walmart, who I'm not sure they really care about winning as much as making money. Yeah, it's just it'll be another like 8-8 season. And I know there's 17 games, but it'll be around there. Not good enough to make the playoffs, not good enough to people to hate you. And we're just gonna do this. We've been rebuilding since Super Bowl 50, like 15 years or some shit. Wait, when was Super Bowl 50? 10 years? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's not even. He said, I was happy to play Taxi on Sunday. I don't even really care. And that's sad. Trust me, I love the Broncos more than any of you. Maybe not as much as somebody who was born here in like the 60s, but still. And all you transplant motherfuckers, I am so goddamn tired of hearing about your devotion. You don't have any devotion. This was a choice you made. You chose to have this run your life. I didn't. I was born into it. Fucking irritating. I go to the games and then I like to watch the games afterwards for a different perspective. Holy shit, get a life, fucking loser. All right. One last thing. Since we're on hockey. Apparently the Kraken have the first ever NHL female assistant coach. And a lot of outlets, ESPN included, scumbag motherfucks, are like wording headlines to make people think that she's the head coach. She's not the head coach. Okay, let's be clear about that. She is one of like 15, I know it's not 15, I'm exaggerating, calm down, assistant coaches. A, I don't fucking care. But B, I care a little bit just because I know you guys want equity or equality. I don't give a shit because I don't think any of you guys know the difference between those two terms. But I don't. Okay? And I'm sorry, but she has no place on an NHL bench. She has never played NHL hockey. Well, not just coaches that haven't played NHL hockey, but they're men. Okay? You can't expect grown men to be coached by a woman in professional sports. Now, if she wants to go coach, like your Saturday night, like D-League intramural hockey, fine. But I mean, come on. There is a difference between men and women's sports, okay? And I don't think she understands the level at which the NHL is at. Well, she played it, but no, it's different level. Like, how do I say this without sound like an ass? I mean, I don't mind if I sound like an asshole because I sound like it all the time, but this is not the place for DEI, okay? I mean, how is she supposed to? I don't know how an NHL locker room works, but does the assistant coach get a talk during period? Like a bunch of half naked guys and some chicks up there who is, arguably mildly, moderately to very attractive. I mean, are they going to listen to her? I fucking doubt it. Because there's two philosophies here from a coach. Either, hey guys, I've been there, done that. Trust me. Or I've been doing this for 30 years and have some Stanley Cups. Trust me. Okay? She doesn't have that. She has, I coach some girls at Worlds or Olympic. Okay? They're like, okay, but that's different. Well, I did, okay, but that's different. Well, I did, okay, but that's different. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they really going to take advice from her? Does she really know the game at the level that they know it or they need to be coached at? I don't know. I mean, time will tell. They did lose their first game, so apparently not. They blew like a 3-goal lead or something in like 2 minutes, or they blow a 2-goal lead in 3 minutes. But it's just, do we have female NFL coaches? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't been catching up. But again, it just seems like, I'm not gonna say I know professional athletes, but I know a couple of them. Okay. And it's a different breed. Like it's so different from you and me that it's not even funny. Like their level of competitiveness and it's just you would never understand. I'd probably never understand. But like we were talking about earlier, I can't imagine having a female coach even in high school. We would have laughed her out of the building. We're just not respected her. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's what was going to happen. Okay? Because, football was a guy's thing. Baseball was a guy's thing. I mean, do we have a female baseball coach? I think we have one that's an assistant or a bench coach or some shit in San Francisco. But for the majority, no, you're not going to get these guys to do that. You're not going to get them to respond to that. And there's a time and a place. This is not the time or the place. And it probably never will be. And unfortunately, it is different because people are like, well, you have male coaches in women's sports. Like, yeah, because the male coaches have coached at the highest level and they can go down to lower levels, which unfortunately, women's sports are lower. I'm not saying unfortunately, that's wrong. I mean, women's sports are at a lower level than men's sports. I'm not sure there's a single sport which a woman could beat a man professionally. That's because we're physically different. Again, this is unbelievable that we have to explain this shit to people. But yeah, you can go from, the NFL or the, like men's NHL and go coach women's WNHL. I think that's a thing this year. Because you can say to them, like, look, I've coached at the highest level. I have a Stanley Cup. I know what this takes. Listen to me. She can't go in there with that. She just be like, well, I coached like women's world, blah, blah, blah. That's not men's hockey. And the people that are like making history, that's not history. Okay. That's just the first to do it. This is getting dumb with, like the Muppet who's the first gay woman pressing. That's not history. And if that's in a history book, we're fucking doomed. First man on the moon, that's history. First woman on the moon would be history. I'll give you that. First female assistant hockey coach who lost their first, not history. There's not a place for that. Do we have one in the NBA? I know we have refs in the NBA that are girls and the NHL, or I'm sorry, the NFL. But do we have any female umpires? Why not? Why come we're not bitching about that? It's not your place. I'm sorry, but there are places. We are so fucked. Speaking of fucked, let's talk politics for a minute. Let's make this podcast at least 40 minutes so we can get the fuck out of here. Okay, man. Let's do the debate. The Waltz or the Walls Vance debate. I didn't watch it live because they're vice presidents. I don't really care because normally the vice president, if the president dies, takes over. So I guess it's important. But normally they don't take over the candidacy without a vote. That's what the Democrats do and whatever. Point of the matter is, Walz started off really fucking bad and then got better. JD Vance was spectacular the whole night. It was an actual debate, apparently. I listened to it afterwards and watched some clips. So I do know a little bit. Yeah. I mean, again, it was vice president, but JD Vance crushed Walz, but Walz showed up in the end. And it was an actual debate. And JD Vance did a lot of smart things that when he was posed a question, he would say, well, I want to say this. He would say what he want to say, and then he would kind of answer the question. Stuff like that. What is this? A keyframe frequency of 4 seconds left. I don't even know what the fuck's going on right now. Hopefully it's still working. Hopefully you guys still know what's going on. But, all right. So Vance, did pretty well. I think Walz made a couple of really dumb things. Like he said that, some shit about mental health, and then actually said that sometimes guns are the problem. Yeah, sometimes guns are like just the problem. Guns are never just the problem. Okay? That's just a fact. They're not. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes they're just not the problem. They're never the problem. They're inanimate objects. They don't fire on their own unless you're Alec Baldwin and you actually kill someone and then the FBI protects you. Okay? It's not a thing. But that was a better debate for debate purposes. We got to stop with the save democracy thing too, by the way. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. So no one's a threat to democracy because we're not one of those, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know what to tell you. It's just the way it works. That's the way we're set up. Don't give a shit. Moving on. As a general rule of thumb, if you're a single issue voter, you're an idiot. Okay? Like if your whole voting platform is abortion, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? I know it's a big deal with a lot of women and some really fucking beta dudes. Okay? But that is not your entire reason for voting, or it shouldn't be. Single issue voting is stupid and you should not do it. As for the My Body, My Choice thing, I don't want to hear shit from any of you that wanted to force people to get the COVID vaccine. That's not my body, my choice. And I also saw the other day that someone said my body, my choice, and then someone responded with like, explain the draft. Not exactly the same, but kinda. Not your body, not my body, my choice. The government can still tell you if you're a dude, get your ass out there and start killing Nazis. So it just, if that's your whole reason for voting is because you want to legally kill your baby, you're a psychopath and you should not be voting. Sorry. Now, again, this is not the case of rape, incest, and all health of the mother. Okay, this is just you made a poor choice and you want to kill your baby. That should not be a reason for you to vote or do anything like that. Okay, Donald Trump is not going to take away your ability to get an abortion. The state you live in will. And you need to move states. And if you can't do that, that's not my fucking problem. But that's a state's issue, and that's what Roe v. Wade was, and that's what we've talked about a million times. Donald Trump is not going to take that away from you. Your state will. Elect different state representatives. Okay? That is not an issue for the federal government. Sorry. So that's just what you're voting on. dumb ass fucking plan. Just like the January 6th, that was not an insurrection. If you think it was, you're an idiot. They weren't armed. They were going to lynch people. No, they weren't. That's stupid. I'm done with that narrative. That was not an insurrection. Donald Trump didn't do that. Nothing, it has nothing to do with him. It was his, it might have been his people, whatever. Secondly, thirdly, fourthly, you got to quit calling people Nazis, man. Okay? I'm done with that. The true Nazis are on the left. Okay? Nazis did not like Jews. The anti-Semites are on the left. That's what a Nazi is. As you know it. Okay? Stop. Full stop. There are more anti-Semites on the left than there ever was on the right. They're in fucking Congress. Ilhan Omar is an anti-Semite. She is an actual Nazi. Okay? Muslim Nazi, whatever you want to call them. They're one and the same. They don't like Jews. They're the scumbags. Okay? Stop with this shit. Trump is not a Nazi. He's a populist. You're a fucking idiot. He's not even a fascist. I would give you $1 million if you could tell me what the definition of a fascist is. Okay? Let's look it up here, right here, real quick. All right, so fascism would be it's funny that Merriam-Webster has probably updated or changed this because they're saying often fascism, so that's probably not right. But let's do that. Often fascism is a populist political philosophy, movement, or regime, such as that as fasciditi, I guess it's an Italian thing, that exalts nation and often race above the individual, and that is associated with a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader. And that is characterized by severe economic and social regimentation and by forcible suppression of the opposition. Let's just take that, which is wrong, but fine. I know they've, because it says often fascism, which that's their debate of it. Which political little regime right now is suppressing the opposition, taking them to court and shit like that? That's what I thought. Let's go to number 2, a tendency toward or actual exercise of strong autocratic or dictatorial control. Yeah, not a great one, but for the point of that, is there anything that Trump has done that would make him a fascist? Let's see, a populist? Yeah, I would say Kamala's a populist too. Kind of your platform just is whatever everybody wants. That's a populist. Race above the individual? I don't think Trump has ever said white people are better than anybody else. I think Kamala Harris has said that we need to give people who are of different colors the world in not so many words. So seems like she's a little more. Let's see. Do you guys know what autocratic means? No. Like a despot, something like that. Autocratic ruler. I don't think Trump is that. I'm not even sure Kamala is that. So again, the Merriam-Webster has absolutely fucked themselves because they have said that broadly a philosophy or system combination of fascism has fascist values. You cannot use the definition of, you cannot define the word with the word. So automatically this is garbage. But yeah, I mean, Trump has done nothing that is fascist. Neither has Harris. I mean, Harris might have. And then they say there's a difference between Italian fascism and German Nazism. There absolutely is. Fascism is more like communism is the state owns everything and gives it to everyone. Fascism is the state owns everything and sells it back to you. That's kind of the difference. Not exactly Trump, anything like that. So that's ridiculous to call him a fascist or anybody, because it's not us. A Nazi, obviously, not a big fan of Jews. That would be the left, is not a big fan of Jews. So stop with this shit. You just sound dumber. And stop with a single issue voting. It's not all about you wanting to kill your baby. You fucking psycho. And you want to talk about women's rights? Fine. Let's talk about women's rights. What women's rights is Trump taking away from you? None. Now you could say de facto that he, appointed these people on the Supreme Court that overturned Roe v. Wade. Fine. Democrats had 30, 50, 60, 100 billion years to codify that, never did. Because it's political football and they never will. They can't now, obviously, thank God. But it's not a right. There's nowhere in the Bill of Rights that it says that's a right. So he didn't take that right from you. And he didn't do it. Supreme Court did. And then your state, which you voted for, your senators, governors, things like that, they're the ones that took it from you. But again, not a right, so they didn't take it from you. They just outlawed it. Is it your right to drink and drive? No. They just said you can't do it. That's different. Not really. You have 10 rights. It's the Bill of Rights. It's super easy. There's no fucking place in the Bill of Rights that says you can have an abortion. Or let's not even talk about abortion. There's nowhere in the Bill of Rights that says you can have health care. There's no way that says you can drink and drive. There's nowhere you see you can do this, that. You can't. The Bill of Rights are your rights. Outside of that, it's up to the states to decide what you can and can't do. If you don't like it, leave or elect different people. Now, if you don't like the way that this government is set up, that's a whole different discussion. Okay? Move, leave. I don't give a shit, something. But that's the current way that we're set up. And my opinion on this doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter whether I'm for or against abortion. Because again, mother's health, rape, incest, we can discuss that. You made a poor choice. We're not discussing that. That's up to your state government. Has nothing to do with the federal government. Has nothing to do with the president. And if it did, it would have been codified years ago. But it wasn't. This is a political football. And the Democrats want to use it as such, just like the border. We could have solved that a long time ago. But neither Democrats or Republicans are just as guilty in this because it's a political football. The Democrats can say, the Republicans hate immigrants. And the Republicans say, the Democrats want to let terrorists in. They're not going to fix that because it's not something they can argue about anymore if they fix it. Just like abortion or, quote, women's rights, if that's what you really want to call it. But it's not women's rights because nobody's trying to take your right to vote. That is actually in the Constitution, believe it or not. So yeah, don't worry about that one unless 2/3 of the states, get rid of it. But yeah, that's in there. That's for you. All right. I think we've had enough. I do believe that Le Hockey is on. Delayed? Oh, Jesus. Why is the Avs game delayed? It can't be delayed. All right. Either way, I appreciate you guys listening. There's much more to talk about. Maybe we'll get 2 this week done. But I really want to go watch hockey, so sorry. But yeah, it's been fun. Um, Shout out to my cousin who has indicated that she does listen, and I appreciate it. We'll have to get you on here sometime. We'll give you a little emote, so no one has to see you and you can keep your job. Hey, until next time. Again, I appreciate everyone who watches, everyone who listens later. Like, subscribe, do your thing. And until next time, bye.